Good morning, everybody. Today's video, we're going to be talking about utility trailers or enclosed trailers. For those of you that have lawn care businesses or landscape businesses, construction companies, something like that, and you use a trailer all the time, there's pretty much two big options. You go with a utility trailer, which is like more of an open concept, or you go with the enclosed trailer, and a lot of people go with those based off of like advertising purposes or security purposes. But today we're going to go over a couple key features as to like maybe you want to choose this one over that one. If you ask me, I believe that both of them do have positives and both of them do have negatives. So we're going to dive right in and we're going to start that right now. Utility trailer, right off the bat, the very first thing I want to talk about is price. Utility trailers, you could honestly get like a 6x14. You could get 3, maybe even 4 of those for the same price as a good enclosed trailer. And when I say good, I mean there are some crappy enclosed trailers and there are some really nice ones. But as far as like how much it costs, it's astronomically lower, and I feel like there's a lot more of them too. And so with the price, I'm definitely gonna say that the utility is superior when it comes to price. Also with utility trailers is the weight. The weight of a utility trailer is going to be so much lower than an enclosed trailer. Also to keep in mind when you're talking about utility trailers, the price and such, but also it's when you have good looking equipment on there and you're pulling it with your truck, everybody can see it. It looks phenomenal. Like when I'm pulling my trailer down the road, you can see my backpack blowers, you can see all my shovels and my rakes, you can see my 2 big giant yellow mowers that look really awesome on the back. So when people say, well, you can get a big old billboard on the side of your trailer, yeah, that's cool. You could, but like, you know, you could just put it on your truck and let the lawnmowers do the advertising for you. Like people are going to see those and be like, oh, those are lawnmowers. See, there's a lawn care company. And then on top of that, there's a logo on your truck. Or you can also put giant banners on the back gate of your utility trailer. I've also seen people put up like small 2-foot walls, 3-foot walls. You can put the advertising there. So for people to say they chose an enclosed trailer over a utility trailer for the sole purpose of they can put a billboard on the enclosed trailer, that's not true. Like you can get the same thing out of a utility trailer. You can put banners on them. You can put stickers on them. You can put all kinds of stuff on them that say your logo and this, that, and the other. So keep that in mind. You might only spend $2,000 on a utility trailer, but you might spend $10,000 on an enclosed trailer. Also, bigger trailer means more weight, means you're going to need a bigger truck, or the truck that you're using is like really getting used, so you're going to be using a lot more gas. There's going to be more wear and tear. You're going to change out more tires. There's so much more maintenance that goes into pulling that enclosed trailer, and you're talking thousands of pounds. I mean, there's a huge difference between an enclosed trailer and a utility trailer. It's not just, you know, a couple hundred pounds here or there. Like you take some tools off of your trailer and it equals out. That's not the fact. So with advertising aside, you can put ads on both of them very well, very easily. I've seen it done. Just as many people are going to be pulled up behind you as people that are going to be right next to you looking at the side of it. So keep that in mind. You can always put stuff on your truck. You can always put stuff on your utility trailer. And then also what's really nice about the utility trailers, when it's 80 degrees, it's 90 degrees, and we're out cutting 10, 15 lawns a day, your equipment is getting hot. All of it is. The weed whackers are, your edgers are, your blowers are, your lawnmowers are. They're all getting hot. And as soon as you park them and start driving, you're cooling them off. You're just cooling them down. So your equipment's like, oh, this is fantastic, thank you. With an enclosed trailer, it's the exact opposite. As soon as you got done mowing this grass for, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes, or sometimes it's even longer, and then you park it into a sauna, because your trailer is a sauna, as soon the enclosed ones are. So your hot mower, you just parked into a very hot trailer, and then it's not breathing, it's not, you know, cooling off. And then 5 minutes later or whatever, you pull it back out and you cut some more grass with it. And then you do that 10 to 15 times a day. You're like choking your mowers, you're choking your equipment, and you're just putting them back in there. And then at the end of the night, when you park your trailer, it's just hot, and you're parking all your equipment in there, and it's all hot too, and it just stays like that for hours and hours and hours on end. And then finally, 3 hours, it's cooled down, you're back to work and doing the same thing again the next morning. So keep that in mind. Utility trailers are constantly cooling down the equipment. Even when they're just sitting there not being used, like let's say you get off and you're mowing grass and your weed whackers and your edgers are just sitting on the trailer. They're not being used. That's okay. They're still getting that breeze. Because I honestly feel like out in the open, it's going to cool off faster than being inside of that enclosed trailer. Because that enclosed trailer, I don't think I've seen a single person who uses an enclosed trailer that says in the dead of summer when they walk in there, it's cool. It's all shaded, but it ain't cool. Not unless you're getting giant fans in there somehow. And you could do that too. You could honestly get like a big Milwaukee battery operated fan. You could set it in the front and crank that baby and have it pushing straight out. That's something you could do too. But then you gotta work out something with your batteries. But as far as keeping your equipment cool, so a lot of people I see, they buy enclosed trailers because they want the security and they like to have their stuff parked and they can have it locked away. Why can't you do that with an enclosed trailer? Or I mean a utility trailer? Take the key out of your lawnmower. I don't know if people are talking about while they're working they're scared of people stealing their stuff. I don't know if they're talking about why it's just parked in their yard. But if it's at home and it's parked, you should, and it's just out in the open, you should have your keys out of all your equipment anyway. And then if you have your weed whackers and edgers on your trailer, you should have them in lockable trailer racks. And if somebody's going to go to the length of like breaking that or stealing that off of your trailer, like I doubt a lock on an enclosed trailer door is going to prevent them from stealing it anyway. If they want to get in there, obviously they're going to have to break some lock at some point. So that's one thing. And then also, you can't say with an enclosed trailer, you can't tell somebody, oh, I have an enclosed trailer, because nobody will know what's inside of it. But at the same time, you have a giant advertisement on the side that says such and such lawn care. Like, you can't have it both ways. Like, you have to pick one or the other. Either no advertisement so nobody knows what's in your trailer, or you do have an advertisement and people do know what's in your trailer. So you have to like figure out what works best for your lawn care company. If you're just starting out and you're just getting your feet wet, use what you have if you have something available, obviously. And then dealer support is very helpful too. So make sure that honestly, if your first trailer, if you're going to buy one, you should buy it off Facebook Marketplace. I think you should buy a lot of your equipment when you're first starting out used. There's no reason to buy a brand new, because honestly, what if you bought a 6-foot by 12-foot enclosed trailer, brand spanking new off the lot? Chances are, depending on the state you live in, you're going to have to pay the tax on that. And that sucks. So that's an extra charge there. And then let's say 3, 4, 5 months down the road, you either don't want to do this anymore, or you hate that trailer, you hate the setup, you need something bigger, which happens a lot in the industry. A lot of people make that mistake of buying a trailer that's too small. For me, I have a garage, so at the end of the day, I just take my stuff right off my garage, right off my trailer and right into my garage. It takes me 5 minutes. If I had an enclosed trailer, I would probably never take the stuff out. Honestly, I probably wouldn't. I would probably just park it in my driveway, lock the door, and come inside. And a lot of people, that's what they like. But for me, I don't want to, because when I'm loading it in the morning, when I'm loading all my stuff in the morning, when I'm loading it at my house, what am I doing? I'm using it. I'm testing it. I'm checking it out. I'm inspecting it. Nothing is going to be worse than you hop in your truck and you go to your first location and you get out and you pull the door down and you go to start your mower and it doesn't start. You could have figured that out at your house, but now you got to figure that out in your trailer. And I know a lot of you are like, well, I have all the tools to fix this, that, and the other. It's like, but I'd rather do it at my house. I don't want to do it on someone else's property. So just keep that in mind. That's another thing. Like, some people might view it as a bad thing that you have to unload your trailer. I mean, you don't even have to unload it if you don't want to. You can just leave it parked in your driveway or in your garage, whatever, all loaded up utility trailers. You can park those. You can park them just like you do enclosed. It's up to you. Like, if you live in a decent neighborhood and you don't think anybody's going to mess with your stuff, or if you have a lean-to, like, that's the best of both worlds. If you have a small little covering that you can just park your trailer under and just drop it and leave it there for the night, that's totally fine. That works. Oh, the other thing is utility trailers, you can get to them all the way around. With an enclosed trailer, you can only get in from where you're at. Does that make sense? Like, if I wanted to get a shovel off my trailer, I don't have to go into the door to grab it. I don't have to climb over mowers to get to it. Like, with an enclosed trailer, you have to, if there's stuff in there, you either have to move it out of your way, or you have to climb through some stuff and get to it, or you got to go through your side door, however it may be. It might not be a big deal, but it's just something. So some of the perks to an enclosed trailer are, maybe some people think they look cooler. I don't know. Maybe they look nicer or cleaner because you have your advertisement on the side. Pros and cons, you just got to outweigh them. Another pro could be, yeah, I don't know. I'm not an enclosed guy. I really am not. I really did search for pros. Oh, storage. No, that's not really there's more of a con there than a pro. One thing I noticed with enclosed trailers, and I'm not bashing anybody, but honestly, like, do you need 14 wrenches? Do you need 3 extra gas cans? Do you need this tool and that tool and 6 cans of this and 12 quarts of oil and an extra air compressor and like an extra ladder and 45 rakes and like all these extra blowers and extra spare tires and an extra jet? Like, some of y'all have way too much crap on your trailers. Like, you need to understand, the more weight you're pulling, the more gas you're using. So do you really need to have all, like, some of you have hundreds and hundreds of pounds on your enclosed trailers of backup stuff, of stuff that you wouldn't necessarily need on a daily basis. It's kind of just there for, like, oh, well, what if? Like, you need to ask yourself, is it worth spending the extra money to tow that extra weight around and that extra wear and tear on your truck just to have a spare of this and a spare of that and extra of those and some of these and some of those? Like, you need to really ask yourself. If you look at my utility trailer, everything that's on there is crap that we're using on a daily basis. The only thing that's there that's not getting used is my trailer aid, which is that plastic block, which probably weighs a pound, and then my my tire iron, which is, those are there so if I get a spare tire, if I get a flat and I need to switch out my tire. I also carry a couple of bungee cords and some tarps with me, and that's about the only stuff that I wouldn't say I use on a daily basis. Everything else I use all the time. I use my utility, I use my rakes and my shovels and all that stuff all the time. I use both my mowers. I use the gas. I use the leaf blowers. Like, everything that's on my trailer I use all the time. But I've seen a lot of your guys' trailer setups that have enclosed trailers, and I'm not bashing them. I'm just trying to give you guys a little insight here. Like, don't dislike the video or anything. But some of y'all got some extra baggage in there that you don't really necessarily need. It looks really cool when you walk in there, though, and you've got like toolboxes and extra this and extra that. Like, it does. It looks cool, but you have to remember, like, that's extra weight. Like, do you need all these things in there? Do you need to carry around all this extra weight? So some of y'all need to go into your trailers and trim some of that fat down. Like, do you really need 6 different rakes? Like, I know they only weigh ounces, but that stuff's getting in the way. That stuff's falling down. You're tripping over it. You're breaking yourself trying to get through it. Like, do you really need 6 different weed whackers? Like, it's my backup, my backup, my backup, my backup. Like, come on. Just be real with yourself and ask yourself, do I really need all this? Probably don't. Also, so that's a big one too. I know for a fact, if you talk to Brian at Brian's Lawn Maintenance, or if you talk to Blake at B&B Lawn Care, they have both sank thousands of dollars. I mean, thousands of dollars on new parts for their enclosed trailers. Blake has, I think it's a 16 or an 18-foot enclosed trailer that he said he just put like $9,000 into. So he bought the trailer and then he bought another trailer to fix that trailer. Brian at Brian's Lawn Maintenance did the same thing. They're just so heavy. You're not going to be pulling around that enclosed trailer with 2 stand-on mowers or 2 mowers with any old truck like a 1500. You're not going to do it. You need some power in front of that trailer to get that thing pulled around all day. So some people say that some of the positives are security, and it's just like, I mean, yeah, is there some there? The weather also, people talk about like rain and stuff like that. And I mean, if you have other means to park your utility trailer, like if you have nowhere to put your equipment, like if you have no garage, no lean-to, consider a storage unit. I know they can be a little pricey and stuff like that, but I mean, consider it. It's not something you have to do, but it's something you could do. You could even just get a really small one, and at the end of the day, you can stop by there, put your stuff in there, and then take your trailer and your truck home with you. It's up to you. It's just an option. Also, you could put up a lean-to if you had the room for it. Maybe ask your grandma or grandpa or uncle or parents or something like that if you could park your trailer on their property. But if you absolutely need to go with an enclosed trailer because it's something that you think is going to work for you, then awesome. I just want you guys to be successful. I think that's why a lot of us make these videos, is to help you guys and give you guys some information on what we've used and what has worked for us. I'm not sitting here trying to make it seem like all I use is utility trailers. They're the best on the planet, because if I only could use enclosed trailers, I could definitely make it work. I would do what I had to do. That's just the type of person I am. I would move things around. I would just make it work. But do keep in mind, like all those walls and stuff, that adds so much weight. So when you're, like I said earlier, when you keep putting stuff in there, like backups on top of backups on top of backups, like just keep an open mind. Like that stuff's gonna keep adding weight, and you're gonna keep burning your gas and putting more wear and tear on your vehicles. And then also your tires and your axles and your springs and all that stuff is also gonna start wearing down too, and you're gonna have to get that stuff replaced. So keep that in mind when it comes to utility trailers versus enclosed trailers. You guys, I know it was a little bit of a long video. Sorry for dragging it on so much, but if you could do me a huge favor, hit that like button for me. I put a lot of time and energy into these videos, and there's a lot that goes into it. It's a lot of editing. It really helps a lot, and it's just one simple click from you guys, so I'd really appreciate it. Consider subscribing to the channel. If you haven't seen my latest video, I'll put that right here, and then if you want to subscribe, I'll put the button right here for you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed it too. Peace.